Wole Soyinka is said to have praised Rotimi Amaechi's courage, for standing up to Tinubu. He went ahead to say that Amaechi gave Tinubu a dose of his own medicine. We shall dive right into the details of today's news, but before we do that, guys, if this is your first time here or you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button down below. Also, leave your opinions in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a massive thumbs up, because that way we get encouraged to keep giving you more reliable and authentic news. And YouTube will be able to recommend this video to other YouTube viewers all around the world as well. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has commended former Rivers State Governor, retired Honorable GBK Rotimi Amaechi, for his principled stance during the 2023 All Progressive Congress APC presidential primaries, describing his refusal to concede defeat to President Bola Tinubu as a redefining moment for democracy in Nigeria. Wole Soyinka, who spoke on Friday during a public lecture marking Amaechi's 60th birthday in Abuja on Saturday, said he derived malicious pleasure watching Amaechi resist pressure to back down during the primaries. Unlike other aspirants, Soyinka said, Amaechi stood firm, telling party leaders, "I didn't come all the way here to commit suicide." This is what democracy is all about, Soyinka declared, applauding what he called Amaechi's fighting spirit and courage to challenge entrenched political expectations. He said Amaechi's stance gave Tinubu a dose of his own medicine. A Nobel laureate drew parallels between Amaechi's 2023 defense and his earlier role as the last man standing against former President Olusegun Obasanjo's alleged third-term agenda in 2006. According to Soyinka, Amaechi, then Rivers governor, resisted attempts to withhold state funds as a coercive tactic, a move Soyinka described as unconstitutional and political oppression. Beyond politics, Soyinka praised Amaechi's contribution to the act, recalling his role in hosting a mini-festival to mark Soyinka's 80th birthday and nearly securing the UNESCO World Book Capital title for Port Harcourt. He also addressed unfounded allegations that Amaechi diverted funds from the festival, some of which were allegedly shared with him. Soyinka dismissed the claims as execrable, jokingly asking for a supposed share of the loot and criticizing the politicization of cultural initiatives. Amaechi is a remarkable, resilient individual, Soyinka concluded. His courage and convictions have remained consistent, even in the face of political hostility. Let's have your total new opinions in the comment section below. What do you all think of this? I didn't know that Wole Soyinka and Rotimi Amaechi had such cordial relationship. I thought, if you ask me, I would think he was closer to Tinubu than to Rotimi Amaechi. But hearing him say all of his positive things about Rotimi Amaechi, well, kudos. Solomon Sunday says, I don't expect less from Professor. He needs to massage Amaechi ego. After all, Amaechi now one of his boys in the club Pirates. How do you know they belong to the same club? Well, might be, might not be. Who knows? And also I think that people like Wole Soyinka, the Nobel laureate, or people like some of these prominent people, depending on who is giving them the most money at the moment, that is who they are going to sing their praises. You guys remember about a year ago when Wole Soyinka was like, he cannot score Tinubu yet, he cannot score Tinubu's performance, when people were saying that, I thought you said, you are going to score his performance after 1 year. Now it's 1 year, so we are waiting for what you have to say concerning, Tinubu's administration so far. I don't think he has, come out since then to, give the Tinubu's administration a score yet, even though Tinubu is now celebrating his second year anniversary in office. We have not gotten that score yet. As at that time, probably Tinubu was, palling with him regularly and probably supplying him with funds. Who knows? This is not to accuse Wole Soyinka of anything, but, this is politics, and Wole Soyinka is a very prominent Nigerian. So, of course, he would have a good rapport with them. And it's not a bribe or anything, but, he would receive some checks, some checks from Tinubu once in a while. It might not be all the time, but maybe now Rotimi Amaechi is the one supplying the checks, which is why he's singing Rotimi Amaechi's praises. Who knows? Wale John says, Soyinka is crude, malicious, and over-exaggerated his importance if a man lost an election and refused to concede, means democracy to SOYINKA, you can all see that his hatred for Tinubu has made him to redefine democracy. He hated Tinubu. Like how? We all now know that SOYINKA is not only clueless, he equally doesn't have principles. For you to call a man such as Wole Soyinka clueless, I don't think he's clueless. But anyway, let me address, the first point that this commenter made. It said that Amaechi refusing to concede defeat or refusing to stepping down for Tinubu shows democracy. Yes, I actually think that it shows, democracy. What does democracy mean? Democracy means that you have a right to do whatever you want to do without any pressure, which Amaechi did. Amaechi stood, not minding the fact. You guys, you know what these politicians do. Let me break it down to you. Some of these people that would collect form, that they have interest, to vie for governorship or to vie for presidency, they already knew. They knew that there is no way they are going to win. But you know what? Of course, I know I'm not going to win, but I have an interest to be in the cabinet of whoever wins in the next election. So therefore, I am going to take the form. So when these people start, negotiating, when they start going to all of these candidates, to seek support, they will come to me and tell me that, okay, please, we want you to step down, whatever you want. What do you want? You know that with these politicians, it's usually about bargaining. It's usually about bargaining. And for you to be able to bargain, you must have a very good stand. By that, what do I mean? You must have supporters. You must have a strong following. They come to you and say, please, we want you to step down for so, 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 and so. Then you say, okay, what are you going to give me in return? Okay, this is what I'm interested in. In exchange for my support, in exchange for me stepping down, this is what I'm interested in. So at the end of the day, like I said, not all of these people that collect form are interested anyway. They know that they are not as popular as like that. They are going nowhere. So they step down and take the offer, maybe ministerial position or whatever it is, in exchange for their stepping down. So when we see people like Rotimi Amaechi who refuse to step down, it means that he wasn't shaken by, I'm going to give you 200 million. He wasn't moved by, okay, I'm going to give you a ministerial position. You're going to work with me when I eventually win. That is what it means. And I think that it shows the kind of man, it shows the kind of person that Rotimi Amaechi is. Because I know someone then that vied for the post of governorship or pastor. He was offered money and he refused to take it. Not all of these, although he's not a typical politician, this person I'm talking about is not a typical politician, because a typical politician will take the money and step down, But because, of course, most of these politicians, they don't have integrity. All they're after is money, 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 and money. Anybody that can give them the highest money, they go for it. So for Rotimi Amaechi, not to have stepped down when, all of this was going on, to have insisted that I am not stepping down for anybody, I am going to contest. It says a lot. It says a lot. Lastly, let's take a comment from Pam, who says, people should use your courage to solve Nigeria's many problems and stop bamboozle us with unnecessary talks. We need courage that can solve Nigeria's precarious situation and not all these cloud-chasing courage. You all, let's have your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching. I will see you in my next video.